Good afternoon, San Andreas. We're back again for another of our election interviews for the spring elections. Now we're here with Owen Kandinsky,
Hi, I'm Owen.
who's running to be governor of San Andreas, along with Annie, who's going to be your lieutenant governor, isn't she? I believe.
Yeah,
Tell us a bit about yourself, Owen.
my name's Owen Kandinsky. I've lived here for like a year and a half. I am originally from London. I'm British, but I don't have a British accent because I lost it growing up because I would just play on all the American servers on video games. So then I picked up an American accent, and then my parents said, "Well, if you're gonna talk like an American, you should just go live in America with your Uncle Casper." So then I moved here.
What's made you get interested in politics now rather than before?
I did try to run for governor last year against Ella Brightstar and Liam Kavanaugh, but then I got disqualified because I had recent felonies.
Okay, did you want to talk a bit more about those?
Okay. Well, I've been arrested for multiple felonies, like consistently. I've robbed banks. I've robbed evangelicals. I was the first person to rob the big bank, the Pacific Standard one. I was also the first person to rob the Polito Bank, and I was the first person to rob the Alls County ATM.
Former career criminal, you could say.
Well, I haven't been arrested for anything since January. Well, for any felonies since January.
Well, it's good to hear. I take it you're focusing your efforts on more community-based endeavors.
Yeah. So last year when I ran, well, the whole reason I tried to run last year is because I was a victim of police brutality. I was shot in the head when I was unarmed, just running on foot, and then ever since then, I really wanted to make sure that stuff like that didn't happen to other people. So a big focus of my campaign this time is I want to focus on public safety and also community activity, like making it so that people can get out more and do stuff.
Have you got any other policy points that you'd like to share with the people at home?
But yeah, so for like the public safety stuff, I wanna try to give more money to like public works, for example, because I really hate when I'm driving along and then like all the light poles just like randomly fall on me and like knock me off my bike or crash into my car. And they fix stuff like that. So and I want to give them more money so they can keep fixing stuff like that and maybe fix even more stuff and then also remove like a bunch of the crap that's just laying around on the roads that people crash into all the time. And then for the community stuff, I wanna increase funding for like community centers, like the Southside one, and also the Chumash Exploration Team and stuff like that. So that because like that's like stuff people like do and like get out and out about and do stuff instead of just sitting around being bored.
One of your policy points is to make law and government more simple and easy to understand. How are some of the ways you're planning on doing that if you manage to win the governor race?
A lot of the stuff that gets put up, I can't really understand because it's all like in really complex terms, and a lot of people I've talked to feel the same way. So something I want to do is make it so that every bill or law has a TLDR at the bottom, so people can just scroll down and be like, oh, that's what it's about, instead of having tried to like decipher whatever is in the bill.
Easily accessible government information. And what's this last section about? Provide funding to new news organizations to encourage more competition and stream more court cases.
Yeah, I think it was really cool how you guys always like streamed a whole bunch of the court cases for people to watch. And there's been some like cool court cases recently that people haven't gotten to see because there wasn't any coverage for it. And then also I think it'd be really cool to just like have more broadcasts in general so people can be more aware of what's happening.
What's your favorite thing to do in the city when you're not campaigning?
Well, I used to be a really big fan of committing crime. It was a lot of fun to just like break open an ATM and then run from the police. But I can't really do that anymore. So I really like riding my bicycle around and talking to people.
Looking at past governors, obviously, again, as you said, you tried to run against Ella Brightstar. Since then, we've obviously had we had Quinn Marino for a little bit after Ella. We've obviously had Brother Jeremy. We've had different governors in the past during the sort of year, over a year that you've been here. What's something you've seen a governor do that you admired?
I really think Brother Jeremy has made a lot of people like him. In talking to people, a lot of people really feel like that he's doing things right. So I like that he's like he can reach out to people.
Fantastic. And is that something you plan on trying to emulate in your own campaign?
Yeah, I'm always down to talk to people. In fact, most of my campaigning has just been me riding out on my bicycle talking to people about what I want to do.
Looking at that same sort of time period, what's one thing you've seen a governor do that you've either sort of strongly or sort of in general disagreed with?
Apparently, Ella Brightstar tried to pay some companies to run events, and then didn't talk to them afterwards, and just kind of disappeared. I don't like that. I don't like it when people just ghost people like that. And then I also really disagreed with Brother Jeremy changing the name of City Hall back to the Capitol building. So when I become governor, I'm going to change it back to City Hall. Yeah, most people I've talked to didn't even know that they changed the name of City Hall.
Hidden in bureaucracy, I imagine. It's one of those things that probably changed in the background. But again, I guess that comes back to your original point of trying to make government a bit more transparent and easy to understand.
Yeah, I think most people probably just don't even look at it anymore because it's just going to be a bunch of stuff they don't understand. But if I can just put a TLDR at the bottom, then maybe people will just start tuning in just to see that.
Since Annie's not here, obviously Tommy, your opponent, has picked Nathan Windwalker for his lieutenant governor pick. We'll be asking him why and sort of what things he brings to the table that made Tommy choose him. So, to ask you the same question, what sort of qualities has Annie got that's made you choose her to be your lieutenant governor?
She is really nice and supportive. She's always been there to help me with whatever I'm trying to do, and has always been there to help the rest of my family with whatever we're trying to do. She's just a really nice and supportive person.
Fantastic. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to say to the people of San Andreas? Be it why they should vote for you or sort of any final message?
Uh, but I think that making the city better doesn't have to be complicated. I think it can just be a simple thing, and we should just try to keep things simple for people. Thanks. I'm Owen.